Good morning, everybody. So, I stayed up until 6 a.m. binge watching Supernatural. But there is good news because I finished it. So I can just put that behind me again and not watch TV for another 2 years. I feel like I was due for a TV show. I mean, there's so many more that I want to watch, but I'm just gonna not gonna do it. Because that way I'm just going to stay in bed, watch TV, and not do anything else for a very long time. And granted, I haven't watched TV in 2 years, but it doesn't add much value to your life. I mean, yeah, it's interesting, it's a story, but it doesn't give you all the benefits that, reading a book would. This is just kind of a time killer. And you don't want to kill time. You want to use time for your benefit. You want to use time to better yourself in some possible way. The whole time I was watching Supernatural for about 6-7 hours, I have my guitar right next to me, and I'm thinking, if I played that guitar this whole time, I would have been like, I don't know, maybe I would have wrote a song already. Or maybe I would have gotten a million times better. Who knows? Practice makes perfect. And that time I chose to invest in completely different avenue, and I don't regret it, but I'm happy that it's over. I love Supernatural. It's great. But it's time to come back to the real world and focus on creation. You and I are the gods that need to create. So instead of passively observing, somebody else's creations, which, TV shows are somebody else's creations, so they are valuable in a way, in a sense. But if we are to live happy and fulfilling lives, we are the ones that need to create. So, what are you going to create today? Did I even leave this room today? Oh my god, you don't know? I could have been sitting in this spot the whole time. And your only indicator otherwise is I have a shirt on. But, as I was saying, since I finished my binge watching escapade, I got up and I sprang into action. You know what I did today? What'd you do today? Well, let me tell you. Well, so I finished my press release for the book that I'm releasing, The Expedition of the Psyche. So I've included the story of how I began my first book and how I unforeseen circumstances had found themselves into my life, and my laptop got stolen alongside with the whole book. I wrote about 70 pages, so on a printed paperback or anything of the sort, it'd be probably around 140 or so, just based on the text size, blah 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 blah. And oh my gosh, that just simply devastated me, because I put my heart and soul into this. I was writing for months, for probably like 6 months, just trying to get my personal story into it, try to share every single possible detail of my life, of my hardships, of all the things that I've went through in order to learn and become the person I am today. I want to share everything with you, from the lucky occurrences that even landed me in America to all the BS that I had to deal with through my own mind, just control issues, insecurities, daddy issues, all of these things that were embedded deep within my mind that were just showing themselves to me through the way I kept my relationships, spoke with people, the way I treated my girlfriend. All these things, they were so loud, but I did not see them. Even though it was being told to me straight in my face, all the things that were happening, I didn't believe it. I was like, nope, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. Just completely and utterly closed to the whole world and didn't really care. I thought everything was right. I thought I was always right, which is number one key to accept is don't always be right, first of all. Second of all, you don't know everything. It's better to believe that you don't know nothing, because then you're always learning something new, learnings from not only professors, but from people, your friends that you didn't know knew something different than you, but now that you're willing to listen, now that you're willing to pick their brain on subject, people will just surprise you. They'll blow your mind based off all the things that they find passionate in, and they're willing to share with you. Every single person is expert at something. Every single person has some sort of passion that just drives them, but not most of the time. People don't ask them those questions, so they don't talk about it. And you could be the person that finds that person, asks them the right question, and then just be flooded with the most interesting stories, information that will leave you awestruck, starstruck, whatever kind of struck. You will just lose your mind seeing that this person that you've known for years, decades even maybe, and they're showing you a side that you have never even thought, you never even dreamt of that side being inside of them, and then it's just pouring out, all because you asked the right questions, or you cared, because you cared enough to show an interest. And I got here by talking about losing my book. So, I lost my book. It got stolen. And I included, the whole process of how that happened, and then I was heartbroken and just didn't even want to write, didn't want to touch the computer, just because the wound was too fresh. So instead, I picked up paint. I picked up the paint, because before this point, I didn't create my paintings the way I do now. I didn't even think that was inside of me. I didn't try. But because I had a drive, I had a need to get all of this out, because, creative process is uncomfortable at times, because it starts bubbling inside of you, and you just need to get it out, no matter how, whether play guitar, paint, write, sing, dance, cook, malarkey, jump around, gymnastics, I don't know, do whatever you want, any way to get it out of your system. So I decided to paint again, and when I did, boy, I was beautifully surprised, because everything that I would try to get out through my writing, it all showed itself to me in one single painting. And boy, I wasn't ready for it. I really wasn't. It was a brand new experience, because as soon as I looked at my own painting after it dried and everything, it drew me in closer and closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. And it showed to me the interactions of the paint. They showed every single emotional aspect that I held during this painting while I was creating it. It showed me every single thing that I had in my heart, I had in my mind, and it was screaming at me. So I was like, I need to get this out. I need to get this out. So I grabbed my camera. I did macro shots on my whole piece, and then I withdrew from it, 32 original pieces that were loudest. And from then on, I'm not even joking, I sat down and 3 weeks straight just write. I've never written a book that fast. I mean, that one took me months to even just get prepared, edit all these things. This one was just flowing out of me, and I didn't even know where it was coming from. I'd look at one of these images, and I would just get hit. It's like an emotional block of information just got set upon my mind, and it was up to me to decipher whatever this emotional block hit me. And I just one after another, and that's why in my book I included every single one of those images, because not only can I do this, every single one of us can do this. You have to look at it, you have to perceive it, and you have to be able to shift your perception from one aspect to another, from far to low, from just shift your perception. And from that skill alone, not only will you be able to see what I see, you will be able to see a personalized mirror that's shining bright as day, telling you anything and everything that you have in your mind. By analyzing these photographs, by analyzing the pictures in my book, you're able to open up a portal into your psyche, and you're able to roam around and find the answers that you need at the point that you are at. Because the book that I wrote, those are my mind, that's my thoughts in my current state. And then, every single day we're growing further and further and further. If you want to see your mind at your current state, you have to look at these pictures and analyze them for yourself. Dig in deeper into yourself and try to see little tiny signs, little tiny interactions, anything that stands out that gives you a little bit of information. And believe me, once you start seeing it and then you look at it and you focus it, your mind will start telling you things. And believe me, from that, you can write your own book. You can use my images, write your own book, and then bam, publish that. Expedition of the Psyche 2. Bam. You already did half the work. You just got to look. So I got to say, it was a very interesting process, and I was very liberated to share all of these things with my publisher, and being able to get more people, to read, through the press release. We'll be picking a bunch of newspapers, radio outlets, things like that in different cities, in hopes to get, more people aware that I exist, my book exists, my music exists, my podcast exists. All these things are in circulation for you to use, to utilize, to absorb. in order to move forward, in order to become a better person than you were yesterday. That's my own goal in life, is to be better than I was yesterday. Smarter, stronger, cleaner, whatever, doesn't matter. Just more disciplined, better than I was yesterday. And I hope to infect people with that illness, of striving to be better, even if it's, this much. And other than that, I've been playing guitar and about to read The 4-Hour Workweek. And that's going to be a lot of fun because I've been wanting to read this book for well over a year. Ever since I found out who Tim Ferriss was and started listening to his podcast and everything that he's been sharing with the universe, I've wanted to read this book more than anything else. And now I get to it. Bah! But again, I'm also playing a little guitar. I actually wrote a few melodies that are, one of them is very upbeat, happy. The other one's more just kind of in the middle, flowing between, sad and melancholy, and just a little bit of hope, it seems like, in the middle of it, so it just kind of gets raised. And I'm still, I don't know, the words, as you can see, words kind of flow out of me, but when it comes to this, I don't know if I have to just be more precise, more, choose with a finer technique, or I don't know, but I'll keep you guys updated. The melodies are coming along, but the words, the lyrics, the poetry, now that have to wait. Well, I'm signing off for the night. Got a lot to do, and I'm going to go to bed. No work today. So, this is your almighty update, and I love you guys.